Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Taurus December 2024 reading and forecast. Hi, I'm Nigel St. James, Clairvoyant. Well, we have a great deck for you this month. Now, it's a medieval style deck. The artwork is all from the medieval period. Extremely interesting and really good at evoking messages about how you might manage the cosmic energy to bring about emotional fulfillment and success for you this month. Now, you know, of course, that I provide clairvoyant readings for people from all over the world over FaceTime and Skype. The details are in the description. They go for about 90 minutes, I suppose, sometimes longer. I charge for those, but what I don't charge for is the gift of healing, which I also do for people all over the world, FaceTime and Skype. They go for about 45 minutes, something like that, as a general rule. So if you feel that this calls to you, then just reach out, because so many people have done so to great effect, you know. But we're going to take 5 cards now. There are no ads breaking their way into this content, and so you get to enjoy the experience direct. 5 cards, because they're very talkative, not just 2 seconds per card. What's this? The 9 of Wands, the 7 of Swords. This is the 3 of Wands in the center. Excellent. There's the 7 of Cups. A couple of 7s there. And what's this here? The 2 of Cups. Well, I'll bring the camera around so that you and I can have a good close look at this wonderful imagery together. Well, I do the reading for you. Now, I'll just show you what the back of these cards looks like if you're interested in those. That's what it is. It's quite ornate. This is a very powerful month for you, you know. You overcome your inner demons. You do a little bit of weeding of the mental garden, I think, and you press on with great direction, force. And there's love around here as well, but I want to deal first. These are connected in some way. Let me see what's going on here. This is energy of Venus. I can see here Venus in the 3rd decan of Scorpio. Well, Venus is the planet of love and relationship, of course. It's also about feelings very much. And this number 7, which I see here, I also have a mystical association numerologically with the planet of Venus as well. Now, the thing is this, there's a double Venus, but Venus happens to be in detriment in Scorpio. So I suspect that what happens here is that there could be some... It's the case that what a moment ago was a source of enjoyment, even of lust for you, seems now to have lost its attractiveness. Your emotions are, I think for a moment, possibly out of balance. And there's some discouragement around. I think maybe you've tried to cover over old wounds, but this tactic hasn't really helped you. And after maybe every binge, food or whatever it might be, or every attempt at getting away from an underlying issue, the old problem is coming around and looking at you all too clearly. And this colors your experience of your situation, which might seem to you to be gloomy, and therefore you get some discouragement. Now, I will say this, though, that everything begins with your thoughts. Your thoughts control your feelings. Your feelings control your actions. And then you justify it all about how you have thought about things. And your thoughts, incidentally, where do they come from? They come from you. They are pictures which you paint. You paint the thought, and you surround it with words that you come up with yourself. And the most powerful words that you will ever hear in your life are the words that you tell yourself. Now, I do think it is the case with you that I think you can become easily discouraged sometimes, can't you? But the good truth is that you are as stubborn as hell, and nearly impossible to sway once you have made your mind up about something. Never say to yourself that you can't do something, or that something seems impossible, or that something can't be done, no matter how discouraging or harrowing it may be. You see, we are all limited only by what we allow ourselves to be limited by. That is our own mind, our own thoughts. You are the mistress or the master of your own reality. And when you become aware of this, then literally, absolutely anything in this world is possible. Master yourself and become the monarch of the world around you. Let no odds, no aggravation from other people, no doubt, no fear, or any mental viruses stop you from accomplishing your dreams. Never be a victim of life. Be its conqueror. You of all people, of course, because you have such great talents, gifts, which have been given to you. Let me see this kind of related card here. Why is it related? I'm getting the feeling because it is the moon ruling the third decan of Aquarius, and 9th to the 18th of February. Well, the emotions of the moon, as well as this number 7 here with Venus, I think, attached to it, as I mentioned. Well, together, the moon and Venus, they cloud what are the intellectual, the mind qualities of Aquarius. So Aquarius is weakened, and this is setting the ground for a lack of clarity here. Now, there may well be things that, in connection with this, you feel ineffectual, or there's some procrastination that's going on, or just doing enough, just coasting along. And if I can use the planets to outline some of the feelings that may well be going through, or thoughts that may be going through you at the time, I can turn to a planet like Neptune, which might say that everything seems to be clouded by a film or veil. I just don't know what I really want. Venus here might be saying to you, but it's just too good to be true. Now Mars may say, look, you don't have the energy, there's no time, or you're already too old. Nobody is ever too old for anything. Jupiter may turn up and say, but this is all too much good at once, what you're aiming for. You could never cope with so much success. And here with Mercury, the planet of communication and intellect, may be saying, making you think that I just can't get my points across properly. Or Saturn may say, it's simply too much trouble and it takes too long. Now, as I say, the most important words that you'll ever hear in your life are those words that you speak to yourself. You know your Achilles heel better than anybody else. So these literally destructive thoughts, they don't need to be taken seriously. Because the reality for you is really very different to what you're thinking it is. And very soon, you're going to be looking back, you're going to be laughing over these old, pointless, weak doubts that you entertained. Now, I also think that this is really calling upon you to have a bias for action, and this is coming also in connection with this. How can I put it? Maybe I can, this information that's coming through is coming through in colors and symbols and what have you. Maybe I can put it this way, by telling you a story. And this is a story about somebody who might be on their deathbed, whether in a hospice, at a hospital, or even at home in their bed. Now, I think that you would agree with me that the ideal situation for a man or woman to die is to have family members praying with them as they cross over. Now, imagine, if you will, being on your own deathbed, and standing around your bed are the ghosts of the dreams, the ideas, the abilities, the talents given to you by life, and that you, for whatever reason, you never went after that dream. You never leant in for that kiss. You never said those words. You never made use of those talents or gifts. And imagine, if you will, that there they are, standing around your being, looking at you with large angry eyes and saying, "We came to you, and only you could have given us life. And now we must die with your body forever." And imagine, if you will, what love, what words, what talents and gifts will die with you, their own unholy miscarriage in your bodily death. Do you know, the greatest wealth lies not in the oil fields of the Middle East. It doesn't lie in the gold mines of China or Australia. Do you know where it lies? The greatest wealth in the world? It lies in the cemeteries. The greatness we have never seen. The joy never passed on. The talent or gift never made use of. The words of sweet love never spoken. The talents, large or small, never actualized. But you do display great strength and dig deeply into yourself, if what I can read from this is correct. Well, this is the moon ruling the second decan of Sagittarius, the 3rd to the 12th of December. Now, with this number 9 up here, the 9 of Wands, I have an association with the moon as well. So there's a double lunar influence here, and it's asking you to go deep, deep within you. There's a great power that you are gaining this month, which comes about through unifying your conscious and unconscious energies. The unconscious energies are activated by the moon. There's a determination, a strength of character, courage under fire, and defending what you have worked for, and in particular, a great belief in yourself. Now, this can apply to men as well, but I'm just getting that inside of every woman is a crazy girl. And we all know what I'm talking about there. That part of you that is entangled with insecurities, fears, and, well, sometimes just absolute insanity. Well, the art of femininity lies in the molding, the kneading, the pounding and defeating of that crazy girl on a daily basis. Look at any woman, and you are looking at a woman fighting a daily battle, wielding her weapons in war every day. Ah, I know it's never easy being a woman. I can see. And if you could only pound that crazy, insecure girl out of yourself, it would make such a world of difference. Your thoughts create your world. Your thoughts create your emotions, and your emotions create your actions. You are not inside of your body is inside of you. You now remember who you are, and the game changes, really. And it's also the case that I think you'd agree that there's a strange comfort in knowing that no matter what happens today, the sun will always rise again tomorrow. Words that you tell yourself beautify your inner conversation. Beautify your inner world with love and compassion, and life will be beautiful. Now, I probably don't need to remind you of this, but I'll say it anyway. You are one thing only. You are a divine being, an all-powerful creator. You are a deity in jeans and a t-shirt, if you like. And within you lives the infinite wisdom of the ages and the sacred creative force of all that is, will be, and ever was. And what you achieve inwardly will change outer reality for you. Now, there was something else of interest that I wanted to have a look at before I finish with this just amazing central energy here. And it is the Two of Cups, where a couple of people look as if they are in love. Well, the lesbian and gay audience can just make the necessary adjustment, of course. Well, this is really good for you this month, because this is Venus in the first decan of Cancer, the 21st of June to the 1st of July. Venus, about happy relationships and emotional exchange, and Cancer, the most maternal and nurturing of the signs. Look, do you know that if you love yourself, you become attractive to others? And your love of yourself prepares you to give yourself totally to someone else. And then a deep emotional exchange is possible. A giving and receiving of overflowing love. And I actually think that this is going to happen in complete harmony here. This really is an energy of complete joy and silent ecstasy. Now, there is another energy that's coming around here which may not necessarily apply to you. But again, I might use a story to give you the indication of it. And it's really about a love affair, I think. Now imagine there's a woman and she's not happy in her marriage. Not unhappy exactly, but not happy. Now, the other person doesn't want children. So, for her, there's nothing to look forward to. Her life is full of a quiet tedium. But suddenly, she falls in love. And sure, there's the excitement of being with her lover, but there's also the excitement of not being with them, of waiting and going on with her ordinary life. And all that dullness now becomes part of the drama, because this is her cover story, in a way. All the dreary anguish and monotony that fills 98% of her life is now electrified with meaning, since it now serves as the perfect camouflage to hide the 2% of passion. And yes, she feels guilt, and yes, She feels shame. But those are powerful emotions too. And we're all part of the glorious transformation of a featureless, bland life into an adventure. Now, I will say this anyway. Don't ever invest in any kind of relationship with anybody who isn't willing to work on themselves just a little every day, because a person who takes no interest in any form of self-improvement, of personal development, or of spiritual growth is not also going to be inclined to make much of an effort building a truly meaningful connection with you. A relationship with only one partner willing to do the work, well, that stops being a relationship. And as anybody who has been there will tell you, it's pointless trying to dance the tango alone. I feel compelled to get back to this fictional woman in a way. Do you know what a love bite is? A love bite is when your lover sucks on your neck and leaves a bruise. And so, and I'll use the male here, but again, lesbians make the necessary adjustment. You see, when he kissed her throat, this love bite, she swooned, as she always did. She had to wear scarves for a week after that, but she didn't mind. In some way it pleased her to have his mark. It made the times between more bearable, a secret reminder that he really did exist, that they existed, their secret world. And she would look at it sometimes in the mirror, the way a new bride looks repeatedly at her wedding ring, just reminding herself of love. And then, I think I mentioned there was going to be a big finish, didn't I? And it's this central energy which is just fantastic for you, because this is the sun in the second decan of Aries. That'll be about the 31st of March to 9th of April here. This is talking about self-confidence with you now. No compromises, your ideas crystallizing. That's a confirmation that you are on the right path. Maybe there's an expansion going on where you're working. Maybe you're thinking of turning a hobby into something of a side hustle. There's a blossoming going on with you, a blossoming which is the result of an inner awakening. And your body, your intellect and spirit are in harmony. And this condition, it won't allow for any lazy compromises at all, because you can now understand your power and you can give it free play, not giving it over to anybody else in an attitude of subjugation. But your center is going to remain untouched and clear. Now, reflecting on this point of internal stillness, that's going to allow a new sense of self-confidence to come into being with you, and it's going to guard against any overload of unnecessary problems. And this wisdom is going to be far too strong to permit any feelings of discouragement or of futility to get through at all. You have conquered them. These don't stand a chance with you this month. I think you now have the direction in which you want to apply yourself in order to be of the best for you, and also to be of some service to the people and the world around you as well. Now, the thing is this, though. You must know what you want. In one sentence, write it down specifically. No abstract things like happiness, love. What specifically do you want? Because this is saying that when you know who you are, And when your mission is clear, and you burn with the inner fire of unbreakable will, no cold can touch your heart, no rainstorm can dampen your purpose. You know that you are alive. There has never been anybody like you in the whole history of the planet, and there never will be anybody like you going forward. You are special. You matter. You were made for a purpose, and now you go ahead without fear, and when you become fearless, you become limitless. What a very fascinating spread of cards for you. I'll also say this, though, with the Sun in Aries, I think you're going to be very busy because the Sun in Aries likes busyness, so you have a lot on your plate. Anyway, wonderful spread of cards for you. Made all the better for you being here.
Well, I told you that was very interesting art, didn't I? And didn't you find it fascinating? I love that period in history. It's one of my favorite sections of history, I think. All around the world, or at least in Europe and the Middle East. And now, of course, unless I see you privately for a clairvoyant reading or for a healing, then I'll see you here again next month. And until then, though, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend. And I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.